Hey y'all. So my name is Angela and I wanted to make a video for you guys today about life insurance. I want to talk to you guys about some things that most people don't know about life insurance, and I highly recommend that you watch this video before you purchase a life insurance policy, or even if you currently have one. You definitely want to watch this video because I'm going to be talking about all things life insurance, which is why I titled it Life Insurance 101, right? And so, with that being said, the purpose of this video is to educate you in a very simple way on what life insurance is, the different types of life insurance policies, and some red flags to look out for if you talk to a life insurance agent about a life insurance policy. The reason why I created this video is because as I've been searching around, I'm like, man, people are not explaining life insurance in a simple way. They're overcomplicating it. And so I wanted to simplify it for you guys. There are two different types of life insurance policies. There are term policies and whole life policies. And y'all, I'm super blown away. Personal story time before we get too deep into this. So, I just got a life insurance policy last year. Just being transparent. Growing up, I heard about life insurance. My family talked about it, but I still just didn't really understand the purpose. I just felt like, okay, I can just get it, anytime. It just sounds like just for death, right? And it can be used for that way too. But I was just blown away when I looked at my life insurance policy last night before making this video at just all of the different things that you can do with the life insurance policy. But, anyways, so let me go ahead and get into this. So, there are two different types. Number one, there are term policies. So, in case you're wondering what that means, a term policy is a temporary policy. Okay. So, that means that it lasts for a certain period of time before it expires. Okay. There are 10-year terms, 20-year terms, 30-year terms, but after that time frame, that means that the term of the insurance has expired. In some cases, depending on the term policy, that means that you'll no longer have coverage. Some types of term policies, that means that you may still have coverage, but your premium is going to rise more than what it currently is. Term also is a great option if you're just looking to have money paid out to your beneficiaries in case something happens to you. So, if you have kids, if you have a spouse, if you have family members where they're not burdened with funeral costs or burial expenses, and of course, if you have a family, you want to kind of shoot towards, if you can, that income replacement as well, so that your kids can still live their day to day lives even when you're not here. The second type of life insurance policy is called a whole life policy. So, this policy is permanent. That means that it does not expire and the premium stays the same. Whole life policies also typically come with something called living benefits. That's where it can build like cash value, which is money that you can use while you're still alive, that accumulates within those first 3 years, and it just keeps growing year by year. And it also has a lot of living benefits. So, like, let's just say you get chronic or terminally ill while you're still alive, you can use some of your money from your whole life policy if you needed to take care of those expenses. Because we know sometimes when we get sick, we're not able to work and just money gets really, really tight. So, those are the two different types of policies in simple form. Now, of course, there's multiple types of term policies and multiple types of whole life policies. But just for the sake of this video, my goal is to keep it simple. So that's a simple definition of term and whole life. But of course, comment below or reach out if you have any specific questions about these two policies. So, the next topic I want to talk about is how to choose the right policy for you. So, the beauty of life insurance is that no one can tell you what type of policy you need to get. And if people do try to tell you what type of policy to get, especially if you're on the phone with an agent, run, because at the end of the day, I know that a lot of people do this trying to be helpful, but there's also a lot of sliminess in there too. So you have to be really careful when you're talking to people about life insurance. And when people say things like, "Oh, well, if I were you, I would," mm-mm. You decide for you what's the best policy for you. You don't let anyone deteriorate you into getting term or whole life. You get to make that decision. So with that being said, let me just kind of give you guys some insight on, just from my experience of getting people life insurance coverage, why people choose whole life and why people choose term. And then you can decide for yourself what makes the most sense for you. So a lot of people that choose whole life, I've noticed that they are interested in those living benefits, that security of knowing that they can use the policy for cash value and if they have a severe illness while they're still alive. And then a lot of people like to have that peace of mind of just the coverage being permanent, not having to worry about any premium changes and all of that. And then, of course, that satisfaction of when you do pass away, because we all are going to pass away at some point, that their family is just taken care of. So it's almost that, okay, I want to have those living benefits, that investment, because whole life can be kind of like an investment as well. And then I also want to make sure that my beneficiaries are taken care of, whoever that may be. So, the type of people that typically choose term policies are people maybe that are just not really worried about investing or that cash value. They're just looking just for some coverage for if something happens to them. Typically, people who don't have children or any type of dependents just want to have enough to maybe be buried or pay off some debts if something happens. And typically, I've noticed people that have children or spouses or a family that's depending on them, they typically like to get a little bit higher amounts of death benefits to cover those expenses, and kind of just like replace their income in the event that something happens. So those are typically the people that I notice that choose term, their reasoning, and then people that choose whole life. Now, this is not to say that this is going to be your reasoning for choosing one or the other, but just kind of giving you guys some type of idea. The last thing I want to talk to you guys today about is good versus bad policy. So, with that being said, there's really no just good policy versus a bad policy. Any policy is better than no policy, right? But with that being said, I want to kind of give you guys some insight. When you're talking to insurance agents about life insurance, it is very important to talk to someone who is an independent life insurance agent, aka a broker. And you can directly ask, hey, are you an independent agent, or are you a um, just an agent that's tied down to one company? Now, some people will lie to you because they know why you're asking that question. So you always want to make sure that you get their agent producer number. All insurance agents have a license number, and you can look them up and see if they're independent or if they're tied down to one insurance company. If you wanted to, for your peace of mind, if you feel like someone is lying to you. Okay. But the reason why you want to talk to an independent insurance agent or a broker is because they're not biased to one company. They're typically contracted with all or several of the different insurance companies in the country, so they can truly shop around and look for you to help you get the policy that you're looking for, versus someone who's tied down to just one type of insurance company. Like, for example, you're talking to an agent that's with Mutual of Omaha or CVS Aetna. Well, they're going to be super biased. They're not going to be able to look around and see if there's someone else that has a better deal or that can offer you more or less coverage or flexible types of policies, because they've got to get you a policy from their particular company. So you really want to be careful with that. Now, if you are a person who maybe just kind of wants to just get into contact with an independent life insurance agent, here at Peaceful Legacy Life Insurance, subscribe to our channel. All of our agents that are on our team are independent agents. We're brokers. So we're not here to try to persuade you to get one company or the other. We're simply here to help you make the best decision for you. So you can reach out to us at hello at peacefullegacylifeinsurance.com, and our number is 210-305-2904. You can text or call that number. at any time. If we don't answer, please text us or leave us a voicemail so we can get back to you, because it's probably because we're on with another family. And let's just say you don't want to use us. You can still reach out to us and we can refer you to other independent companies. So good luck getting you some life insurance coverage, and let me know in the comments if this was helpful.